Texas just pretty much pulled a band-aid off of a very neglected power grid, not only there, but nationwide. I remember even when I was a child hearing about the power grid needed a lot of work, it needed to be upgraded. And it came up again during Hurricane Sandy in my state. And they were talking about how fragile the power grid was, and they anticipated a big power outage, and that's exactly what happened. And you saw Texas, as soon as Texas went in the deep freeze, the infrastructure just did not hold up so great, and neither did their power or water. So it's not just a Texas problem, it is a US problem. I'm going to go ahead and play this audio from NPR.
The electricity grid is more than wires. It's also power plants, big transmission towers, and local utilities, everything that gets electricity to you. Much of that infrastructure was designed for a different era, says energy consultant Allison Silverstein.
We planned this grid for Ozzie and Harriet weather, and we are now facing Mad Max.
These pop culture references are Silverstein's colorful way of saying that what worked in the 1950s, 60s, and 70s needs to be updated for a future that includes climate change.
Everybody has always designed these systems looking in the rearview mirror.
That made sense. Grid managers identified the worst-case weather scenario from the past and planned for that. But climate change is delivering weather that hasn't been experienced before. The number of weather disasters with losses over $1 billion is increasing, according to the federal government, and the group Climate Central says that since 2000, there's a 67% increase in major power outages from weather and climate-related events. Each region has its own vulnerabilities. Take the Pacific Northwest and its massive hydropower dams, for example.
Not only do we need to be worried about the cold weather events like you saw in Texas and the hot weather events like in California.
Ben Kuyala is at the Northwest Power and Conservation Council. They recently changed their planning models to look ahead and better prepare for how climate change alters when water flows through the dams. He says warming temperatures make it likely that mountain snowpack will melt earlier in the year.
And you have a lot more water running into those reservoirs in the winter when it used to be more of a spring phenomena. And it might be that by summer, you're pretty much through all the snowpack. You've melted everything off and you don't have that much precipitation and you just have way less energy in the summer.
Grid experts generally agree the country needs to build more transmission lines to get electricity from where it's produced to where it's needed. That would make it possible to add more cleaner sources of power like wind turbines, solar projects, and batteries to store energy. Larry Gasteiger heads WIRES, a trade group advocating for more high-voltage transmission lines. He points out that President Biden set a goal of net zero carbon emissions from the power sector by 2035. That may sound like a long time from now, but
in the world of building transmission, it's really not that far off when you think you need a good 10-year lead time in order to get there.
And Gasteiger says all that new transmission infrastructure, big towers and thick lines, comes with a steep price tag.
Our study said up to $90 billion of investment by 2030, maybe as much as a $600 billion in investment by 2050.
Gasteiger suspects the Texas blackout will encourage policymakers to move on this issue soon. As expensive as this sounds, the Texas experience shows there's also a cost of not preparing the grid for more extreme weather, in dollars and in lives. Jeff Rady, NPR News.
Yeah, they're right. The world is changing, y'all. It is changing. Because, this morning when I woke up, I was looking at Venice. Do you know the canals are dried up in Venice? The boats are no longer sitting on water, it's sitting on the ground. So it just goes to show you the world's weather is rapidly changing. And places that are hot are going to see cold weather, and places that are cool are going to see heat waves. I mean, this is the way it is now. The weather is very chaotic. So, ladies and gentlemen, if nothing else, America should learn a lesson from what happened to Texas. But you know what? I just highly doubt it. I think there is going to be politicians that will remain in office and continue to ignore everything that really needs to be repaired in their state. It's long overdue. And I feel for those Texans, and they're getting, you went through a power outage and your electric company got the nerve to send you bills with thousands and thousands of dollars in charges on there. That is outrageous. I didn't even see that here after Hurricane Sandy. We were in the dark, but they didn't slap a bill of thousands of dollars. Man, these folks around here, first of all, would have raised all kinds of hell. They would have backed off of that mess real fast. So we know power plants and water companies and piping and everything needs to be replaced. A lot of it long overdue. We know about water crisis that are now going on in Texas, never stopped going on in Flint. And we got one here in Newark, New Jersey. They don't fix this stuff. They just slap a Band-Aid on everything. These folks are greedy. They're not down with fixing anything and getting it right. They're down with keeping as much money in their pocket. That's how they think. And that's what's wrong with them and the reason why their leadership don't work. They're never down for doing the right thing. And now we know disasters are coming. They're already saying the hurricane season this year is going to start early and it's going to end late. So you have to get everything ready for all of this chaotic weather that we are now seeing, very extreme. So we shall see. But I'm just warning you, in Texas, you're going to see a lot of water main breaks and all kinds of problems when the weather heats up again. It's actually going to get worse. And the parasites in the water, that's going to go tenfold on you. Wow. Y'all, please tell me what you think. Please leave your comment and subscribe. Don't forget to hit on the notification bell. And I'll see you on the next video. Peace, family.